Boom!
There it is. Good morning. Happy Thursday to everybody. The red light is on, which means we're live, and we're here for another Nudelberg Daily Huddle. Good morning, gentlemen.
So if you are not excited about it just being Thursday, it is Football Thursday, baby. We got NFL football tonight, man. I cannot wait.
We are a football family, that is for sure. And excited to have the NFL back. It was cool to have college, but I think since I've gotten out of the profession of coaching football professionally, I enjoy watching the NFL more than I do college football.
Mark is rooting against Tom Brady tonight because I have him in fantasy and we are head to head this week.
That is correct. That is correct.
Very nice. I see it. You just never know. Good morning, Jeremy Torrisk. We are wishing you a speedy recovery. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to the Gold Farbs coming in with a 1-2 punch. Donna,
good morning to the Dykes family. I'm looking forward to at some point getting together with them all in one room.
Those are some busy folks, man.
I gotta tell you, well, you know what happens. I mean, when you hit the Jewish holidays, it's like, one thing leads to another, and you're looking 3 weeks out.
I'll see you in October.
Yeah,
exactly Christian Chris White is here this morning. Thank you, my brother. Awesome seeing you yesterday. Awesome getting the opportunity to share some wisdom as we crunch September and take care of fourth quarter. So that was certainly fun down at the Hilton on the beach. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, John. Boom, boom, boom. It is a throwback Thursday.
It is a throwback Thursday.
There's lots of stuff that we can talk about. We got some great birthdays, some great content. But here's a tidbit for you. Tom Brady will start his 300th regular season game, which is an NFL record.
Is that right?
That is a correct fact.
Wow, NFL record. So 300 is the number. We surpassed that a few weeks ago. But that's awesome. Congrats to Tom Brady. And I don't know if anybody saw his social media yesterday, but he is officially on board in the crypto market, and maybe one of the best commercials I've ever seen. The whole thing was about UN and making calls around the country to different people. I don't know the guy's name, but the Jet fan who were, the fireman.
Fireman Ed, baby.
Fireman Ed, right. Yeah. Had him in the commercial. It was a fantastic post. And I don't know whether it's because he left New England and the rules changed, or he hired a new marketing team for him, but he has been on fire in the social media world.
On fire. Staying on the throwback theme and being a Jet fan and taking a page out of Jesse Itzler's playbook, I am going to watch 1 o'clock kickoff on Sunday with my dad.
That's
traveling
awesome
to do that, and I know he's super excited to do that. John Breckenridge, look at him coming in from Bakersfield, California.
Early, baby, 5 a.m. crew. Gotta love that.
Gotta love him. I so enjoy working with you, John. Your energy, your attitude. He's like a little kid in the candy store. He's learning it. He's doing it. He's doing videos. Great stuff. Why don't you say we kick this back?
Let's wake up with some music, and then we're calling an audible.
Hell yeah. Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
Wake up.
Wake up. I love that song. Big shout out to Chris Pollock. Chris is a fan, a friend, a client. Chris brought me to San Diego to speak to his organization pre-pandemic. He reached out and said, I want to gift one of my clients your webinar. And I got confirmation this morning that the client is excited. What a cool idea.
That's awesome.
Excited to do something with you, for you, around you, all good stuff.
That's a great idea.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, really cool.
Talk about give back. Something that keeps giving, man. Great Great idea. Way to be innovative. So I'm going to call an audible, even though it's Mark's show. There was some content planned that was good, but here's something better. I've been telling you, this dude is on fire with his content. If you're not following Mark's stuff, it is textbook beautiful, major league home run, bang, bang, left, right. Today's post was based around this picture, which, Mark, why don't you tell us the origin of this picture and who took it?
Yeah, so this is a picture of me at my first desk at Florida State. I had just graduated a few months prior, and I got hired full-time to be the special teams assistant. And you guys came up for the spring game, which was my first full-time coaching gig. We split the team in half, and I was the special teams coordinator for the Garnet team. And that was my first major league debut into the, college football coaching world. And it was a great experience.
And so the post specifically takes you back on Throwback Thursday and asks a very relevant question. You learned a lot at that desk.
A ton.
So your question was,
where was your first desk and what did you learn? Right. So like for me, that place embodies a lot. And, it goes into a lot of my content where I have a hard time pulling my story together. Jake's funny with his comment.
Yeah, man, it was like, I remember flying to Boston College and you guys were
known as the Mush Crew. Every time you guys showed up, we lost. But that desk to me, like I spent 3 years there, and depending on how you look at it, right? Like toxic work environment, no work-life balance. There were plenty of negatives to be had from that first place. But I also learned so much that was valuable that set the foundation for me to not only have success in my college football coaching career, but now have success in my professional, executive
from an
coaching
R-rated
career.
show to an X-rated show. You guys were all going,
What the hell's going on out here?
So, and some of the lessons that I wrote about, if you guys didn't go see the post and if you don't go see it later, I think the one thing that I learned the most from was I learned how to anticipate. I learned how to anticipate what people wanted around me and be able to deliver that before it was asked. Because I quickly learned that in the coaching world, if you got asked for something, it was already late. So I learned to figure out what the people wanted from around me and get it done before it was asked for, which put me way ahead of the competition. And I think when most people think about competition, they think about external competition. I looked at every other young coach on the staff as a competitor. I knew that the staff that I was on was going to go on to other places and they were going to have to build their own staffs of people. And I knew that in order for me to be included in that conversation, I was going to have to stand out above everybody else. So that to me was, I was competing with the guys next to me, not in a toxic way, but in a way of, I'm going to set the standard of what our job looks like and make people beat me for the opportunities that were coming ahead.
So what I'm most impressed with is the Throwback Thursday mindset. Is what can you reattach to that you learned early that's a basic fundamental that got you here? Yeah, it's fluffy and fun and you can post pictures, but the actual exercise of reconnecting to what you learned early on, that's me, thinking about my grandfather every day, how he was, how he showed up, how he dressed, how he spoke to people, all of that. So when I spoke to the group yesterday, at the end, I played a song. Dion most of the people won't know this, but it's the song, The Wanderer. They call me the Wanderer, meaning that if you're not spending time every single day, letting your mind wander back to that stuff, you cannot be your best self. You just can't be, because you're so tactic driven. Step out, book the time, and whenever you're doing it, you are reconnecting, which is your brain on overdrive. Bang, bang, connecting, coming up with great thoughts and great content. And that's how you really, really work that muscle. So kudos to you, Sonny Boy.
Thanks, I
Great way to
appreciate
go.
that. And I, I think that again, like you talk about, it's the exercise of creating the content. I could have just posted that picture and said Throwback Thursday to my first desk, but where's the value in that for the audience? Where's the value in that for the network? When you talk about creating valuable content for people, share it with something to give. And if people like it or they don't like it, it doesn't matter to me. That was a great exercise for me to go back and think about those things and say, you know what? Yeah, that's actually applies to the shit I'm doing daily.
So, LinkedIn, the algorithm usually doesn't give a lot of weight to somebody sharing posts. I've shared 2 of your posts this week and gotten 3,000 views. So, you're just doing it. You're doing it as you were taught. You're doing it genuine, authentic. You're delivering value. No surprise, that you are, steadily becoming the LinkedIn influencer that you had intended. So for all of you who want to be in that position, got to keep knocking on the door every day.
Steady work. Like I think about where it started, and my first LinkedIn post ever was on a Monday, and it was called Teaching Life Through Sport, right? Like that was my lens of getting out of coaching and figuring out how to create content. Was I was looking at the headlines in sports, applying them to the business world and the way we operated daily. And that's how I started to get into my first rhythm of creating content. And kudos to Jake, because Jake is way younger than me when I started doing it and doing an unbelievable job of figuring out how to find his voice and provide value.
But the thing is, the role models are there. When I started to develop my voice on LinkedIn, there were not that many people doing it. There were not that many people in it. I didn't have that role model that said, hey, here's the way to do it. Just follow me. This is a follow me, follow the leader platform that continues to deliver. And I love it. And I'm so proud of you. And, it's just great stuff. But I know we have a great show beyond.
We got great content. So let's go to morning motivational music, and then we'll come back and we'll tie in a famous birthday with another famous birthday and the lessons together.
Bang. So that can actually be a theme song by the guy who was formerly known as Michael Jackson. Who is that person?
So Christian Castellano says, and this one tops them all. I happen to agree. Of all of the Michael Jackson songs, that one is so good and never misses.
I mean, the body of work that he left behind was.
PYT is also one that's like way up there for me, but Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is just like it doesn't lose.
Interestingly enough, those were all part of the same album.
Right.
Right. The Quincy Jones, and this was him breaking away from the Jackson 5.
That solo career, start of his solo career. Unbelievable.
Awesome stuff. Love it.
Yeah, so we're going to celebrate some famous birthdays today. Today is Adam Sandler's birthday, and in the Nudelberg household, we are huge Adam Sandler fans. So we've got a little bit of a movie montage to show some of our favorite movies of his, and then we're going to tie together Colonel Sanders' birthday with his birthday, and then talk about what Colonel Sanders can teach us.
Time to go home there, Ball.
Son of a bitch, Ball, why didn't you just go home? That's your home!
Are you too good for your home? Answer me! Suck my white ass, Ball!
He poked me in the eye. Captain Insano shows no mercy.
I want you to visualize all those people that have been mean to you, and then I want you to attack. I want you to visualize and then attack. Can you handle that?
I tried.
He's gonna try.
What's the matter with you, boy? You too stupid to do what your coach tells you?
No. No what? I didn't mean to hurt you. Coach told me to pretend.
Man, it's you who is good. You know what else is good? Smoking dope. Ain't gonna rat you out, you know. Puffing the Chiba, go by the seesaw, smoke a J. You know what I'm talking about?
I have a belly button.
You have a belly button? Well, we all have belly buttons. You know what? We all love Yoo-hoo. Especially Yoo-hoo with a little rum.
What's wrong?
You don't know what rum is?
Rumpelstiltskin?
Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin's a good man. So are you guys. Hey, stay clean. Stay focused. Stay strong. Frankenstein, have fun with your friends.
The Rumpelstiltskin is a good man. It's a line that I've used forever.
You could go all morning with just the one-liners that have come out of his, scuba Steve, baby.
So I'm really going to do a magic trick here because it's also Colonel Sanders' birthday, and it's impossible in my mind to talk about Colonel Sanders and Adam Sandler's on the same day without showing this scene.
Yes, I agree with you.
All right, let's hear what Mama has to say on the subject.
Mama say that happiness is from magic rays of sunshine that come down when you're feeling blue.
Well, folks, Mama's wrong again.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right.
Mama's right. Mama's right. Something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
So really awesome. Really, really awesome.
Oh,
But
man.
so celebrating Colonel Sanders, if you do not know the story of Colonel Sanders, it is a phenomenal story of perseverance and really focusing on what you're good at and chasing your passion. Most people don't know that he didn't even start the Kentucky Fried Chicken idea until he was in his 50s, mid-50s, late 50s. And the way it started was he was a nomad. I mean, a straight wanderer, could not keep a job. The depression really hurt him and what he was trying to do. He went from insurance sales to owning a gas station. And that's actually how he started Kentucky Fried Chicken, was at the fill station that he had. He started selling food with it. He had this unbelievable recipe for fried chicken. He was actually the only person cooking it in a pressure cooker. And so he started serving it to people as they were coming in. People loved it. He created a restaurant around it at his place, and then patented the way he cooked it and started taking it around the country. Sold his first franchise when he was in his 60s, and then quickly got out. Sold the idea for like $6 million at the time. And then they went on, obviously, to become the largest KFC franchise in the world. But, I think when you hear that story of what he did throughout his life to get to the point where he found the thing that he was really successful at, it's all about understanding failure. And I wrote about that in my post today. One thing I learned at my first desk was it wasn't okay to just fail. If we failed, if we lost on Saturday, you better come in on Sunday with why we failed and what your expectation or what your plan was in order to fix it. And that's him.
It reminds me when I first started speaking, I would open up with all of the people who spent most of their lives not successful till one day it clicked. Harrison Ford was a carpenter at 55. Somebody was delivering UPS. Oprah didn't do anything till later in her career. So Thomas Edison, had 1,000 inventions that failed until the one was the light bulb. And then all of a sudden that's what we remember him for. So it's easy. Look at that.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get caught up in the victim thing, which we talk about all the time, and that sends you down a different path than they're just at-bats. You're going to get a lot of at-bats.
And so when you go back then, and we talk about this in time management, we talk about it all the time, the importance of reviewing, the importance of going back and looking at what happened and understanding why it happened. And I think when you look at it, for at least in football, it fell into 3 categories. I think in life, it falls into 3 categories. It's a failure of tactic, it's a failure of strategy, or it's a failure of vision, right? We had the right idea. We're in the right spot. We just didn't execute the right way, right? That's a failure of tactic. Or, we had the right vision. We were on the right, but the way we went to market or the idea that we had, the route we chose to go down was the wrong route. Or, guys, this was a bad idea. Right. We're way the fuck off.
Right.
But if you don't have the ability to review, or you don't take it upon yourself to do that, there's no way to find the opportunities in failure to become successful. You'll just keep failing.
I totally agree. And to close that conversation, there's no better failure than Strother Martin in Cool Hand Luke saying, what we have here is a failure to communicate. In the world we live in, if you are not communicating who you are, what you do, who you do it with, and why you do it, you are going to get left behind.
And if you're in leadership role and you're not communicating with people consistently, right? For your direct reports, every day having open dialogue, creating that culture that you need. We talked about it earlier in the week, the amount of people that are quitting and leaving. It's your responsibility to communicate early and often in order to create the culture that you need in order to have a successful organization. So
speaking about the Great Resignation, I was actually videoed my Tell Me Something Good episode with Joe Mullings yesterday.
Yeah.
Christian, you want to talk about a mic drop? It was unbelievable. He gives his take as the largest global, recruiting firm. He gives his take on the Great Resignation, on what's happening on both sides of that story. It is just magical. I love the time I get to spend with him. We are out of time today. We're way over time, but I will tell you this. You better be here tomorrow because my son turns 35 tomorrow, September 10th. We were just talking about that night that he was born. What a night. Never forget it. Best moment of my life besides when Jake was born. So be here tomorrow to help me celebrate this moment.
I love it. Let's get down to business. We'll see you tomorrow.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. Friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a